So proceed now to what we did in week 4. We talked about exploring e-commerce data set with SQL. So we're going to be jumping right into this particular lab and then go ahead and show you how to do this. So the first thing I wanted to know is you may not be able to access these by just simply going to add data and exploring data set, to be able to locate this particular data. However, I provided you a link in week 11, and if you look at this link over here, you can just simply click it, and it will bring you up to the data set that we're going to be looking at. The data set in question, it will show you something that has data to insight, as you can see it over here. And throughout this lab, that's what I'm going to be looking at. So if I select this click data set, you have this, and I have e-commerce over here, and you can see all sessions, and that is the aspect of what we're going to be looking at. You can look at the schema for these really quick, and I've shown you a couple of times how to look at the schema. So what are the things that we want to kind of get out of this lab? We want to access an e-commerce data set, as we're saying. We're going to look at the data set, metadata. We're going to remove the duplicate entries, because of course it makes your query to run faster. And then we're going to write and execute some simple queries. And that should hopefully drive home some of the stuff we have done in the past before. Now, how do we identify duplicate query? If you scan and scroll through rows, and there's a couple of stuff I'm going to show you a little bit here later on, that hopefully will help us to be able to look at some of this stuff that we're doing. You can look at the details here. You can go to preview and just kind of like take a look at it and see what can we see. You see there's no singular field that uniquely identifies a row. So you need advanced logic to identify duplicate rows. If you kind of look at it like this, here are my columns, you can see the fields, but look at the rows here. There's nothing. There's nothing that really does this for you. And sometimes you have some data like that I just presented like that. So if you have duplicate rows, that can be tough, because you don't have an identification like this. So the query you're going to be using below, we use SQL group by function on every field as specified above here, and count, and where there are rows that have the same value across the field. So that's what we're going to look at. We're going to use a query, and we're going to use the group by function on every field that we have over here and count. And where there are rows that have the same value across the field, then we want to kind of cache that. So if every field is unique, then the count returns only one. Then there are no groupings of rows with the exact same value for all fields. So if there are multiple rows with the same value for all fields, then there are rows that are going to be grouped with count greater than 1. So that's really what we're doing. We're just saying, look at all these rows, examine each of these rows and count as 1. And if it sees any other row with the same value, then it's going to count it 1 at 1, and then we'll know we have multiple rows, and then we can hopefully remove the duplicates. Gives you an efficient tables, and even you save a lot of space. So let's go ahead and look at this query here. This is rather large, so I'm going to warn you ahead of time. So you're going to need to take some time to kind of read through these. And I have this query for you in D2L. You're looking at over here, you're grouping by, you're specifying all these tables over here, and you're having, these duplicate because we're saving it as, this duplicate row, as you could see from above, count as number of duplicate rows, and whenever it's greater than 1, then we know we have a duplicate. I can begin to run it, and having here is a keyword that says only show me the table if it's greater than 1. If it's not, then don't bother show me anything. So what do we have here? Let's go ahead and take a look at the result. If you look at it over here, we have a number of rows that have 2, 2, 2, some 5, So there's a lot of duplicates we have over here, but not a lot compared to the overall table, but there's a good number here, and that tells you what we have here that are duplicate rows. So you can easily remove the duplicates or decide what you want to do with it. So I'm going to run a new query now. In this case, I'm running it against the all session. Remember, the former one we run it against the raw. The all session here is a deduplicated, one. And one of the things we're trying to do here is we're trying to analyze the all session table. We're looking for any verification. We want to verify to make sure that there's no deduplication that exists under this all session. So we're going to kind of try and still run it. So we're going to wait a little bit for it. And you can see there's no deduplication. So we know that this table has no deduplication. The key here, however, here is to spend some time, go through these. And by the way, anytime you see something like a pound, that's just a description of the field, so it doesn't really count. It's just to kind of help you have a better understanding of what it is that that we're trying to do. All right, now your exercise here. I'll do this for you, and then we'll be asked to do the rest later on your own. But I have to write a query that shows total unique visitors. Write a query that shows total unique visitors. So again, my target is all session. It's been deduplicated, and we verify that. Then I'm asking you to select, count all field as product views, and count distinct. In other words, make sure that there's no duplication for visitors as unique visitor from these. So run that one, and again, the goal is for us to show total unique visitors. So you can see that's the number we have. That's the number we have over here. We count as product views, that's all the view, and then count distinct full visitors as unique visitors. And that kind of really shows us what we have over here. You can always look at this later on your own, so you can understand. Always review the schema so you can understand the thing that we're actually doing. Okay? And when you say count asterisks like this, you're counting across all, field. And the goal over here is to count distinct, unique full visitors. In other words, if it's there's a duplication, disregard it. That's really what this one does for us, and that gives us these, table for us over here to be able to find the answer that we are looking for. Alright, so that's it. So I can ask you a little bit more new questions so you can, come up with something that might be of interest to you again. How about if I said to write a query that shows total unique visitor, but then with a little modification, in other words, I want you to group them by channel. So if you look at this, what we have over here, you have channel grouping here, right? And if you look at the channel grouping over here, let me see, you can see channel grouping, social, referral, direct, referral, and so on and so forth. If I tell you to calculate the unique visitors across this channel grouping, what would that be? Let's go ahead and see what we can do there. Run your query, and you can see I'm grouping, group by channel grouping, and I said order by descending order, and there you have it. That shows you, you know, total unique visitor, you know, across different channel grouping. What if I ask you to write a query to list all unique product names alphabetically? Well, simply go back over here and look at product name. Do you have anything here that describe product? Is product quantity, product price, product SKU, product name? So that's what you're looking for. So you can go back and go to preview. Always good for you to kind of know what it is you're looking for. Get an idea of it. So you can see product name, gift card, YouTube, you know, custom decal. So come over here, let's write a new query. Post over here, and of course product name. This is just leveraging group by, and that gives you quite a lot of opportunity for you to analyze. Okay. So one other thing that you can modify a little bit, you know, a visitor can view a product during the following, you know, during interaction, page, screen view, and so on and so forth. You can simplify the, you know, filter to just one page, or limit it. You know, for example, I can write the same thing over here, and then say order by, you know, here I said product name. You can order by product views. I'll show you here. So product category, product name, product SKU. Let's see. I want to make sure that we have a product view. Let's go and look at the preview here. So you can see now that, you know, you can see all the fields. So if I were to ask you and say, write a query, you know, to list the 5 products with the most views. So what would that be? Something that, you know, how would you generate that, right? So it's not as difficult as you might think, because you can determine the view by the count. You can just count, you know, all the fields as product views, and product name as product name. So this will return, you know, product that occurs the most, because everything the customer view is getting logged. So if you have a product that comes up several times here, gift card, you have gift card that you know, this is a, you know, you have a lot of particular product that come up multiple times over here. That will let you have an idea of how many times people view it. And if I run this one, I can then say where type is equals to page. You can run this one here, and that should give you an idea. You can see what we're looking at over here, that we're filtering using page over here, because a visitor can view a product during the following interaction, maybe, you know, by page, maybe there's an event, maybe there's a screen view, and so on and so forth. But page is of most important, and that's why I filter it like this. And that's the you run it, you get a result that kind of capture most of what it is that, you know, we want. I wanted to play with this a little bit and get ourselves very, very comfortable. there's going to be questions relating to this particular exercise. One more thing I can do is I can refine this particular search. For example, I can say, do not double count product views. All right. So if somebody, anything that appear more than once, make it as unique. Well, what do I do? For visitors who have viewed a product many times, you just count it as one. So then I can create a new one over here, and of course I'll be using some of the keywords that you've seen us use earlier on before. So running the same command that we ran, we're just now coming over and say count as unique view count, group, and of course in descending order. Part of what we're looking at over here is to site page type, and that kind of just minimizes a lot of duplication. Take some time and go through these a little bit later. It will definitely help you to see what it is we're doing. We can expand the previous query to include total number of distinct products ordered and the total number of total units ordered. If I want to do that, I'll come over to this side, create a new search. You can see that, and that will give you most of the potentials, opportunity over here that you can kind of get some insight. I wanted to review this, go through it multiple times, and then imagine what kind of question I may ask you, especially on this particular one. Thank you.